Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo buddhaya, namo dhammaya, namo sanghaya. Good morning to all of you on the east side of the world, and good afternoon to the evening to all of you in the west side of the world. Let me start my Instagram because something wrong with my Instagram here, real quick, and just this is checking connection. Everybody else connecting just fine. I don't know what's going on. Unable to start, so we will take this thing off Wi-Fi, and ooh, it's only got one bar.
Yeah, still works.
We'll let's see. Checking connection. You're now live. Okay, well, hello to Instagram. I just got done paying homage to the Buddha. So, how many? Can you scoot a little bit closer? There you go. All right. So, present here with me is Joselito. In this room, Joselito's girlfriend to my left, which you all cannot see. She's just hanging out. She's hanging out. She's Filipino. He's Filipino. He is the first Filipino to be ordained under this program. And again, I already explained the ordination in the previous days, where he is not yet a monk, but he is an auxiliary venerable. And I defined that already. You can be a venerable and not a monk, and vice versa. Right? If you're a monk and if you don't live your life right and keep the precepts, then you're not worthy of veneration. Now, um, Joselito here was declared a saint by virtue of Panya. He's the second one to be declared as such under this school because he spent from the time that for 2 years he spent by himself, with himself, to himself, he reflected on the first noble truth, which is suffering, and how he came out of that suffering gradually. That led to some of the wisdom that he dispensed in the car, which I don't even think all of it has been published yet. The amount of content that is pending on my phone to be published is a lot, a lot, a lot, which is a good thing, right? Because things are moving really fast over here. Things are moving fast over here. Today is a very auspicious day. It's a very happy day. Oh, by the way, since I mentioned his girlfriend, let me say this for the record: is that it's also my job to test their morality and ethics. What do you think boyfriends and girlfriends do? They watch movies, they talk, they tickle each other. Ah, and at age 20, what do you think they do? That's right. So that your imagination will run wild. Now, upon asking direct examination to our newly canonized saint, he says, "Go ahead. Why don't you say it yourself?
What?
That you're afraid of what?"
Oh, I fear God. I'm a God-fearing man.
And is also fearful of his mother. So he will wait until marriage to do anything, the act of procreation. And I believe him. And so, therefore, he took the precepts and he took the three refuge. And when the time is right for him to make adult decisions, he's already an adult. But you all know what I mean. More serious decisions. And the relationship is ongoing, and the relationship is in the beginning stage of their lives. So we have ordained monks in Thailand and Laos. When I was in Laos, there was, I think he was 37 years old, and he had a wife, and he was there to ordain temporarily. His wife came in and spoke to him after ordination. She was kneeling on the ground, um, in a public space where it was nice, well lit area, as consistent with the rules for monks, 227 rules, and that's it. They just stare at each other and talk. That's right. You cannot touch ordained bhikkhus when they are under ordained bhikkhu status. Um, so you must remain holy and pure during the training period. Likewise, I mean, when one becomes a monk, one needs to keep it straight on the path of spirituality, because if you're busy doing other stuff, how could you, think about the path to enlightenment and focus on our energy on that. Okay, I think I got that out of the way for the record. Today is an auspicious day because our devotee um, have been funding the novice ordination program and pre-ordination program, and she wanted to sell these artwork, and she asked me, where do I go to sell these artwork that I once previously purchased? They have certificates that come with them. So I am not a um, expert in art. And before becoming a monk, I actually had a girlfriend who was studying art and wanted to get her doctorate, PhD in art history. But Joselito, if you want to like grab one, maybe put this one next to me here and show them a sample of what we have here. So Joselito is showing everyone, what is this, a basket of fruit and flowers. I I don't know if it's what kind of medium that was used, like brush, paint, oil, but obviously it was done by hand, and behind it there's a certificate. Can you show people the certificate? It says certificate of authenticity. Your brush stroke faithfully replicates the color dimension of the original painting. Oh, okay. So it's a replication. Edition 231 out of 980. Uh-huh. And then you got this right here. So obviously it's authentic and obviously it's pretty cool for those who are in art. This reminds me of the remember when I'm sitting in front of the couch. You can put it back. Thank you. When I'm sitting in front of the my couch, my brown couch, and then you see the wooden statue of the Buddha. Remember, I was at the art store in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, and there were like a lot of Buddha statues that I wanted to buy. And quite frankly, that night, if I had like $3,000, they all would have came home. First of all, the car was small, so there's no way we could fit. We barely were able to fit that one in the back of my two-door sedan, but it was beautiful. Um, okay, so what does this have to do with Buddhism, by the way? Why are we here? Why are we here showcasing art? Um, let me tell you all a story. When I was in, I'm sorry, when I was talking to Venerable Adrian, who has now disrobed, he lived in Thailand for 6 years, was a monk, was a bhikkhu. So he lived in this big monastery, and he was going down the stairs, no different than the stairs in this house over there. And we were FaceTiming, right? He is from Guam, speak perfect English, and just beautiful, amazing human. So we're FaceTiming each other, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then he walks down the steps, and there are like very precious things that people donate on the wall. And like you see paintings, you see statues. And I think I've seen like I don't know, when you go hunting and people perhaps killed like a boar or a deer, and then the head of the deer, and they stick it on the wall. Taxidermy. That's what it's, yeah, taxidermy. So I was like, oh wow, it looks like you're in a museum. And he says, no, I'm at the monastery. These are the things, these are the items, artifacts, items that people donate to us. So we decided to just, leave it here. And then so I can't believe now comes today that this is happening to this school of Buddhism, this school of Jidao. Um, and I'm like, wow. So a lot of good things are happening. What's happening? When people start giving away valuable things, the Buddha taught give more, take less. That's how we lessen and mitigate greed or excessive desire to accumulate more. Like women, they like to accumulate shoes, lots of it. Men also shoes. How many pair of shoes you have?
More than five.
Okay. Okay, that's not excessive. I mean, but there's ones out there that, I mean, they even keep the Nike boxes. that Gen Zoomers. How many parachutes do you have, Miss Jessica? 10? 10? It'll be 100 soon. Don't worry. You better get a second job. So we're hunter and gatherers. That's what describes human. Homo habilis, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus. That's humans. Okay. What do? We hunt, we gather. Hunt, we kill and we eat. That's why we have the propensity to actually kill other humans, right? Um, TikTok, don't ban me. I'm just giving a talk. Just no violence being promoted here. Um, and then we gather. Back in the day, we gather sticks and stones and try to make shelter. But somewhere down the line, the DNA has been ingrained in us to gather everything else but sticks and stones nowadays. Shoes, cars, houses. I sneeze. Oh, wait. Dang, it's gonna be a satisfying one. So, so, um, so now we hoard a lot of things. I find it beautiful that women in Thailand would come and take off thousands of dollars of jewelry, 24 karat gold, place it in a little container in the presence of monks and police officers to melt down to make the tip of the pagoda, the tip, on top of the roof. Yeah. So when you go to Thailand, make sure you pay attention to the tip of the roof because that's made of pure 24 karat. Don't try to steal it either. Yeah. It will shoot you in the leg and you will fall down and break a leg. Um, and it just signifies unshakable faith and confidence in this is what the Buddha taught, this is what we're doing, and this is how we feel about it. Go home and feel good that we're contributing to more monasteries as it relates to the threefold training. And the more monasteries we have around the world, the safer our world actually becomes. So, right now, at the time of this talk, tomorrow I'm going to Arizona at a very high rate of speed. And I'm not going to have time to bring these artwork down to somebody to appraise it. And I am thinking about perhaps letting my assistant or assistants, multiple assistants, under my watchful eye, put it up for bidding. And I'm not sure if that is appropriate. So I'm going to leave this live, and publish this video publicly to see anyone have any objections me opening up a public bid in order to raise money for my program, the novice ordination program, the teen suicide program, the cognitive behavior therapy program, rapid realization program. It just goes on. Endless programs for the masses of suffering of our children who are every day more and more suicidal, every day more and more lonely. It is safe to declare with an awareness into Buddhism, the practice of the non self. So spiritually, I identify as a visitor, right? I'm just a visitor. I'm just hanging out, I'm just chilling. I came, I conquered, and subsequently I will leave. Conventional, conventionally wise, it's safe to declare that my program and style of teaching and modality of teaching is superior, comparable to what other monks have deployed. I just don't know, just because they don't 99% of the monks that I profile online talks about the Dhamma. I've yet to come across about Buddhist psychotherapy or seen one-on-one sessions that I have, conducted publicly and have published for all of you to examine under public examination, public scrutiny, uh, whatever. And the fact that the actual empirical scientific results have come in that I am able to fix families within a week and most recently within 2 days, an entire family fixed within 2 days, 48 hours, leads me to make the claim that my modality selection standard of teaching is superior. That means it's effective. My medicine is effective for family systems and unit. I'm also going to make another claim is that perhaps I am the only monk in the United States that ordained. Oh. Why did I waste my breath? The entire time the red account was not on. So great. See the look on my face. It's like, do you start over? No, I'm not gonna start over. Um, Dang it. So that's why I gotta train these guys. But the red account just turned on. I've been talking for like 15 minutes and realize I've been talking to a screen that doesn't record. So I'm gonna download the orange and move it over to the red account. Okay, so just bear with me. Let me give a brief overview. Brief overview. Assistant, auxiliary venerable, Joselito present here, had a devotee who wanted to sell these artworks that's present in this room. And obviously, we have no time to do that. I have to leave for Arizona tomorrow. So I took care, control, and custody of them. They have certificates of authenticity. I spoke about how people give away things to lessen their excessive desire and excessive gathering, which is hoarding. I gave example of people in Thailand donating valuable goods and things that they have achieved or saved up for to the monastery. The monastery showcases those items in their hallway, and in former Venerable Adrian Bhikkhu's case, in the on the stairs. So now in front of, now I have care, control, and custody of three artworks here that I'm planning to open a public bid, which my assistant will conduct, not me. It's not right for a monk to, start using his social media for business or conduct trade and business or whatever it could be perceived as in this moment. So going back, um, that my teachings, I assert, is superior in treating family systems and unit, which is very difficult if you think about it, because not now we're diving deep into families' lives and into their extended families' lives and how it all interconnected. That is the root cause and interplay of disturbing emotions. They're not at peace because, well, my baby auntie, grandma, sister, daddy is cheating on this person and that person, and the complexity of that webbing. So, my job as a monk and a Buddhist psychotherapist is to unravel those little hair in the hairball and figure out who's who, why they do what they do, and what's their responsibility and what is not their responsibility in order for people to achieve peace. Um, And then the second assertion that I made before opening up the Red account was that perhaps I am the only monk in the United States that ordained mostly the Gen Zoomers and Gen Alpha. Okay. And I think other monks don't do it because it's high risk. When you deal with adolescents, and adolescent is defined under 25, it's risky. You just don't know, their mind's subject to change, and they can be suicidal and or homicidal. So you have to really know how to assess these folks. Risk management, know how to counsel them, know how to, be a good teacher and not so strict, and not too loose where they go out and use drugs again, and not too strict where they want to jump out of the window. So the funding, any additional funding that comes after today's talk, goes to all of the programs that I aforementioned. um, Cognitive behavior therapy program, rapid realization program, novice ordination program, family dynamics counseling, traveling expenses, CBT books. The list goes on. One day, yesterday, we went to see Buddy and his newly born female baby named Stormy at All Children's Hospital. And as you all know, certain students struggle a lot in life, and so therefore I only had $90 in my pocket, and I'm known to just give. I don't think there was any one point in my life. I think there was only one point in my life there was $3,000 in the bank, but for 98% of my life, it's been less than like $500 in the bank. At the time of this talk, $600 in the bank. So if you're an IRS agent right now and you have access to my name, date of birth, social security number, go ahead and click that little button and you can see the one and only bank that I have, which is Chase, and you can see it verified right now. If I am lying, you can take me to jail. Okay, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Under penalty of capital life felony. Okay, can't be far from the truth. Yesterday was a very fun day for me. After going to the monastery, so everything was recorded live. The whole succession of a day was recorded live. And the other claim I also like to make, just for fun, all these are just fun, but true facts to make, is that perhaps no one could ever call me a lazy monk because of what I can do in one day and what I do in one day and what is demanded of me as a monk in one day. Just in how it changes. All of a sudden I'm teaching meditation and then boom, we got a baby that was just born and then, it's just like all these events of timeline. And the purpose of recording live is so that number one, whoever is going to write the biography, they can piece it all together. And number two, serves as for the young generation of monks to match my level of energy and public service, duty as a monk. Don't sit and watch Netflix. Don't sit and watch this or read that for too long. Get out with the people, talk to the people, spread Buddhism, promote Buddhism, do what needs to be done. Um, so where was I? Because my talks like branch out from different branches. Uh, so yesterday was a very fun night because now people are now particularly Vietnamese people are kind of the they're grabbing a lot of notice and attention, and they're asking me about my program, into the details of my program, such as you don't have a monastery, and we've been talking about nonprofit and establishing one, so one may be on the way soon. You are a monk that is Theravadan. What do you guys do? So they asked me all these basic questions, and it's good. I wanted them to ask, and I wanted them to um, examine when you are a monk, especially a public one, or any holy order or holy man or woman. You should know that you are subject to public examination and prepared to answer where you've been, why you do what you do, okay, and whether or not it is consistent with the tradition that you have chosen. So yeah, I sat with professionals who could be future devotees within this program. And I said, I'm Jidao, I'm 37, I've been a monk for, 10 years. And I cater to teen suicide. I became a monk after my grandmother passed away, followed by my best friend, Jacob Hall. Um, I also like to add to my timeline previously, which I neglected, the the suicide of uh, so Jacob died because of an accidental death. What I also left out back in the day was Travis Dickhouse, who how he committed suicide over the breakup of his then girlfriend and other things that compounded accumulated despair that cost him that. That was so painful. I left it out subconsciously or perhaps unconsciously until I went to Arizona and I was reminded. Randy reminded me of, wait, didn't someone else die around that time frame? And I was like, who? And it took me a while to come up with Travis's passing. So I'll have to go back, make another video on that, and speak about Travis's life. Uh, so I tell people, yeah. So I became a monk because I hit rock bottom after my grandmother passed away. I was suicidal. I was this, you know, kid that was just off the chain, off the hook. And if I had not become a monk, I would probably be in prison or dead. Okay, and I never want to see other children go through the same thing that I've went through because I just seen the hardship, I've seen the struggle, I've seen the depression, the pain. You Matter of fact, I cried yesterday while talking about Joselito's situation and certain things that he said. Joselito opened up about the passing of his father and how he felt about it. And yesterday, when I recalled his story and how he told me, he says, "Venerable, when is this pain ever going to go away?" And he pointed towards his chest, and I did the same yesterday, replicating his body language. And I lost it yesterday. There was just tears coming down of my eyes. And that's hit rock bottom for some of us. As for some of us, we're able to identify on that level of pain, that deep pain we felt, no different than the pain that I felt following the next day when my grandmother passed. And I realized when I woke up, she wasn't going to peek through that little curtain to wake me up. That's when I realized, wow, I have to go through today, the entire day, realizing that I just lost my best friend. Mm. So for some of us who've gone through such great loss and tragedy, it hits home quick. No different than our devotee who are leaving me with these three paintings and doing whatever it is I want to with them. She also identified with the word depression and her children going through it, and it just hit a particular note in her psyche, particular note in her heart. So she is going all out, donating as much as she can. I am also pursuant to my policy that I also protect my donors and devotees' assets. That means if I think that they're excessively draining the bank account or that they're taking drastic measure and decision into supporting this program, I would tell them to stop. You need to look at your 401k, your retirement, your investment, whatever it is that you're doing, and you need to first and foremost ensure the survival of your family and the longevity of your money and how it's going to serve you. It is only when you believe that there is extra that you are contributing to this program that I will accept. Okay, because if you're going to go broke and be homeless in the name of this program, that money is not accepted and will return back to you. Okay, I think that that is a beautiful policy. That policy was adopted when my grandmother passed away, and I gave $500 to the abbot at the monastery where I took my novice ordination. And he looked at me. He says, "Has all of your expenditures and everything, all of your needs has been met before I accept this money?" And I said, "Yes." When Sahari came down from, what's that state? Where is she from? I got a lot of student folks. When Zahari came and when I was with Venerable Varapano and she made a donation, I also did that. And Varapano told me that was very beautiful what just happened here. And and then of course yesterday when I was under examination, when they asked me about my policy in regards to money and how I explained that cannot touch money, cannot ask for money, I can only ask for a cup of water. If you feel compelled within this program, you can make your donation and so on. And likewise, these are additional stuff that I put on top of the 227 rules. Buddhism doesn't Buddhism doesn't exempt praise or blame, and it is buying through the policies that I implement that will set the stage of purity and integrity of the order for young monks to emerge down the road. So anyway, so I think you all understand um, these artworks. So can we grab that big one? Can you show them what that big one looks like? So again, I'm not sure. Uh, well, I think I know what needs to be done with these artworks. But here's this one. Do we have a name for this one? There's a name on the other one.
Coin de Jardin of Montegernon.
You sound like you spoke French. Can you?
It's by somebody named Claude Monet. Monet.
What did you just call me?
Claude Monet.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Can you flip it right here? Put it on this chair right here. Your girlfriend just looked at me like, "Oh my god, he's such a trip. He's live right now." No, I didn't see the name of it. Yeah. Some of these are pretty cool. Got cool names. Oh, Coin de Jardin a Montigurnon. Whoa, exquisite art replica, artograph. So all of these certificate we took pictures of, you know, and so if it is ever, oh yeah, so going back. So the purpose of today's announcement is um, to let everyone know across the world that we possibly could be having a public bid to raise funding for the program. And I think I'm just gonna take a guess that these things might go up to the thousands, but I don't think it's gonna go past $5,000 or even $3,000 because they're replicas. They're not. Can we grab that other one too? Um, and I really don't have that any expectation for it being above and beyond whatever it is that is projected because whoever is going to bid or purchase these um, need to, you're doing it because the money goes to where it needs to go, teen suicide and novice ordination programs. This one's a cool one. This one's like back in the day when people dress nice and hats and back in the, I don't know, what era is this? We're too young.
Victorian.
We're too young to know, huh?
Victorian.
Yeah.
It's called New Year's Eve.
Can you flip it around so we can take a look at the certificate? See, I don't know anything about art. Um, Alan Malley, 55 out of 250. The artist hereby declare that the above named limited edition print on canvas, published by Past Impression, is a signed and numbered edition of, okay, uh, wow, matching the original oil painting and plates and facets. Oh, cool. So whoever bid or make offerings towards these, I think you should feel really good knowing that the funding goes to teen suicide and everything I've been doing over the past 10 years to mitigate teen suicide and bringing the teachings of the Buddha into homes. And it should never be looked at as, whatever um, material value it is. It just should be a trophy of we did something for society, we did something for this particular school of Buddhism. That's what it should be seen as. So it's getting a little late because I have to head back to Pinellas County tonight and put all my robes together for 1 month in Arizona of monastic meetings, and followed by Levu Lang on Sunday is the Honoring of Parents Day, where I'll be giving a talk. They just want to showcase me at the monastery. So my name is going to be out and about this, particularly the Vietnamese community. Something that I've kept the cat in the hat, just because I'm still interpreting, still functioning as an interpreter, serving areas of law and medicine, and I'm just not ready to go all out 100% for the Vietnamese community because um, you know our programs have been hanging on by a thread. 2 years ago, I've told everyone that perhaps it's going to be terminated, and I'm probably going to have to disrobe and go back to work and get additional jobs. The donors have witnessed how I've dropped everything in Pinellas, go up to see the family, understand the family, fix the family as much as I can, going back to my job as an interpreter, having we going back to Pinellas because I have a medical case tomorrow at 12:30 that will last probably 2 o'clock, no, not like 1:30, and then I'm back at like 3. I have to be at the airport by 4. So our primary donor said, wow, your life is like all over the place. You're a monk, you're doing counseling, you're an interpreter, and the interpreting thing just pulls you so many different directions, but yet you still respond to people like 911 TikTok monk, you know? And I like that, Sometimes it does wear me out. I think when you look at the previous live video, sometimes it does wear me out. I think when you look at the previous live videos, you see how exhausting my face is, and a lot of you have pointed that out on TikTok, and a lot of you pay very close attention to my face, and you guys saying, "Wow, you don't look well today," and you're right in those moments, and the time of those talks, I'm probably not. I was probably operating on like 30% capacity of energy. I don't drink energy drinks like these guys do. I don't just drink water, eat, and try to be mindful of my body and how it responds, the weather, and trying to tune into my biological clock. So when my body says, "Hey, dude, you need to knock out right now, like I just did in that room. And they walked in and probably thought I was dead. That was like a quick 20-minute power nap so that I can do this. Um, and before this took place, there was two sets of families that were Buddhist, but they're not Theravadan. So I had the honor and privilege to explain to them for an hour and a half, perhaps 2 hours, of who are the Theravadan order, why are we different, and how is my program different than any other monk in the entire world. So that was a lot of fun, and it brought joy to them and a lot of happiness. I wish you both spoke Vietnamese to understand, but um, they just got a kick out of me within a matter of 2 hours, and they're like, "We would like to invite you to go eat." That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Because if they run off quick, that means I don't know how to do my job. That means I probably just became a monk yesterday. So, but a lot of people are discovering Theravada and Buddhism, and the clinical benefits for them and their family. And I think that's something to be celebrated. And as you know, again, I'm going to find my time down the road to write my books and have a manual, a manual for all of you to follow. Right? There's a manual for everything else. There's a manual to how to put things together. There's a manual to, I don't know, for Legos, a manual to how to drive a car, a manual to how to operate your Tesla, a manual to how to work your iPhone. But where's the manual on how to live life wisely, kindly, be nice, be kind, be wise, be good to each other? We're all going to die. And it's like, why are you mean to your neighbor? Jesus says, love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. By the way, he's Catholic. I'm Catholic. And I've been talking to yesterday, the woman who examined me was Catholic. And so, great joy also, too, to skillfully explain to Catholics about who I am and how I'm capable of also counseling Christian families under the capacity of a pastor. So that's also a good thing that Buddhism is also helping Catholics to become closer to God. And I'm still practicing Catholic. You can do that. You can be both. Okay. A lot of where people get this twisted is where they just focus on, like, for example, the first commandments where Jesus says you should not, honor other strange gods. And Buddha never claimed that he was a god. Buddha was a human. He was born here, achieved enlightenment here, and then passed away here on earth. And we have evidence of that. He never said he was a god, never claimed to be. So, that's where people start. Some people do that. They just take that one thing out of the Bible or one thing out of a verse and they just attach onto it, blow it out of proportion, and then interpret it in their way. There's the right way, Tom, and then there's your way. Your way just so happens to be inaccurate. Uh-huh. So I'm happy to report that, the merging of the two, most notably in the actual Catholic world, we had Cardinal Donald World meeting with the Dalai Lama, and the beautiful exchange of that is available on YouTube. How they spoke about um, the contributions of both, and most recently we had, I think it was Wat Po, Po, Pho of Thailand, where we had a group of monks wearing gold robes, chanting and blessing for our Pope Francis. So you see the interplay with the two religion together, but the world's asleep. They're not informed of that. So therefore, if you're Catholic, I encourage you all to go on YouTube and put monks blessing with Pope, monk meeting with Pope Francis, or Thailand monk meeting with Pope Francis. And it is beautiful for Joselito to see that he's Catholic, that we uh, honor our Holy Father, and also the adoption and utilization, clinical utilization of Buddhism to be closer to God. I don't object, you guys, if you believe in God. That's not for me to decide. You believe in God. Like every December, I always say that When you die, you're subject to judgment for the whole jury, the whole jury. And who is the jury? Jesus Christ, Allah, Muhammad, okay, Vishnu, Allah, Buddha. They're all gonna, kind of hang out over there, just hanging out, you know, and you're gonna explain to them how you live your life. Why did you abandon little Joey when he was little? You're going to explain why you didn't pay child support. You're going to explain all of the skillful and unskillful things that you did, in fact. And now you're subject to judgment. Who's going to judge you? I don't know. Who's going to hand down the sentence? I don't know. Okay, I probably won't live or see you in that realm to know. So who am I to judge you and tell you how to live your life, right? I teach the path to chill, the art of chill. Because a lot of people don't chill, you know. That's it. It's great being me. It's pretty chill. So tonight, reflect on this teaching, how you can make a difference into this school and to affect the happiness and well-being of other people's lives, such as Joselito and other novices previously mentioned. Um, and I so there's only a handful that I showcase in front of the world, and for the ones that I don't showcase or is in active work with, they are under protected status because their story has to do with addiction, trauma, and abuse. So therefore, no different than the one-on-one sessions that is recorded live previously published. Those are only samples, like 3% of what I actually do when the camera is not rolling. So again, you all can make your contributions or express your intended involvement and or participation into what we're doing here by sending me an email to the number one Vietnamese interpreter at Gmail, the number one at the number one Vietnamese interpreter at Gmail. I can be reached on Facebook primarily. Primarily, is it raining?
I don't think so. I don't. I can't hear.
These ears are like satellite dishes. Can you take a peek? It's not raining. No, my radar is defective at this time. my, my rain Doppler radar is defective. I thought I heard rain. Cognizant of driving back to Pinellas County. You have any question or concern about this new launching of the potential and likely chance of bidding on these artwork? Please, you can voice your opinion if you are a senior teacher or a bhikkhu or a monk actively practicing and there are concerns about this. I'd like to hear about it. Anytime when I tread something that could potentially be controversial, I always publish it publicly to see, if this is the right thing to do, if this is the right thing to do to raise funding for necessary programs to save our children. And if it is deemed not appropriate at this time, or this is not within the scope and realm of it, then we won't do it, and we go a different route while awaiting for additional funding to come in to continue our programs. So I will appear live again, hopefully in Arizona, and go over there and settle down. And it's going to be very hot. You're going to see me in this attire. If I'm at the monastery, you're going to see me in this attire, or perhaps my angsa, which is the little tank top on the inside a lot. And it's going to be a very thin one, like, the wind can just blow it away type thin. It's very hot in Arizona. So I'm going to have to accustom my body to the temperature at hand and just trying to stay alive and hydrated. And we'll take up my teachings and probably catch up on a lot of social media stuff, take a break, reflect. I need to write a lot on the previous cases this month alone. We'll probably take up at least 300 pages of reflection. But Joselito is going to be in charge of the digital media stuff. So I need to activate my cloud system so that I can just drop things from Arizona and they can access it in Florida. And that is the digital Sangha project where it, costs a lot of money. Also, to never ending expenditure, monastic. In conclusion of tonight is the financial, uniform financial disclosures of policies in regards pertaining to this program and how donors are going above and beyond their scope of practice by donating valuable things in hope to contribute to this program, and also how they are talking about this program and how it is much needed for the ever changing, turbulent world of our adolescents, Gen Zoomers and Gen Alphas. Mm, This is a very quick changing world of uh, chaos in the lives of adolescents, absolute chaos, and how parents are losing the battle quickly with their children and over the control of their children and over the control of information diet in their children's electronics. So we need to prepare how we're going to deal with that effectively using the best available science. I don't believe I left anything out in accordance to my memory at this time, what I need to announce. I think that's comprehensive. Did I left anything out?
I don't think so.
Anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to add, Miss Jessica? She's just chilling. So, mm, let me scan my mind and see if I'll be dragging a couple books with me, and perhaps uh, huh. I think I may just take on Vipassana meditation explanation as new contents for YouTube. People on YouTube, I notice that they, well, because I've been so busy, I haven't done that. But I think for new contents, I should go to the Vipassana explanation of how I teach it, the way that I teach it, so that you all kind of like, oh, okay, well, he teaches it differently and easier to understand, easier to practice, comparable to others. I hope. So I'm going to drag that with so many books to drag with me. I'm just going to select the most potent ones to focus on with the 1 month that I have in Arizona. Um, Please take note that while I'm in Arizona, between in the middle of September and October, no, just the middle of September, I will be driving from Arizona to California again for additional meetings over there. But I don't think I may not have enough time to meet some of you that have been inboxing me. So I'd like to conclude my talk tonight. May you all be well, be happy, be free, and always be healthy. May you all realize the light of your own true nature. May you all be healed and be a significant source of healing for other people. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay.